roster moves, benchings, and baffling performances. The Dodgers kept us on our toes during the month of August. Will it be the same way for what's left of the season?
You are Locked On Dodgers, your daily Los Angeles Dodgers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It's time for Locked On Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Teoscar Hernandez is benched, and we'll hear from Dave Roberts why he did this move. Meanwhile, the team adds a pitcher who used to play for them. And no, it's not Walker Buehler. And just when you think the offense might wake up against a sub-500 team because it had been doing pretty good before this series, it disappears and the Dodgers drop 2 out of 3 against the D-backs in their final series of the month of August. I have a packed Labor Day edition of Locked On Dodgers, which is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app. Create an account and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off of your first purchase. I'm Harry Ruiz, Spanish radio play-by-play broadcaster for the Las Vegas Raiders and the USC Football Trojans. Shout out to the Trojans, a 60-point win over Missouri State on Saturday. I'm a native Angelino and I bleed Dodger Blue for life. I'm having a blast breaking down Dodgers baseball with you every weekday here on Locked On Dodgers. My co-host Travis Rogers will be back with me tomorrow. Right off the bat, scoreboard watching time. The Padres surprisingly dropped 2 out of 3 in Minnesota against the lowly Twins. But the Dodgers, they did the same at home versus the D-backs, so LA's lead in the NL West remains at 2 with 25 games left. Meanwhile, the Phillies, they won 2 out of 3 against the Braves, and because I'm recording at this time today, I can tell you that they won their series opener in Milwaukee. They came back from losing 5-1 to end up winning that game 10-8. So Philadelphia's lead for the second seed in the National League is 1.5 games over the Dodgers. So if the season ended right now, the Dodgers, they would be playing in the Wildcard round where they would need to win 2 out of 3. And man, we've seen them lose 2 games in the last couple of weeks to the D-backs and the Rockies. And if you include the Angels from a week before that, even them. So it's not a walk in the park. It's not an easy deal. It's the randomness of a 2 out of 3 series, even if they play at Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine. All right, now that we got that out of the way, how shocked were you that Teoscar Hernandez got benched on Sunday? He definitely hasn't been performing like the guy that we saw rise to become such a crucial piece for the Dodgers last year in their World Series run. After an all-star season, a Silver Slugger year, and even getting MVP votes in 2024, he signed a new 3-year deal with LA, averaging $22 million per year. But this season, he's hitting his lowest batting average since 2019, has the worst on-base percentage of his career, and his defense in right field has definitely been exposed. Are you down with Teo being benched? Let me know on the Locked On Dodgers listener line, 279-3-LOCKED or 279-356-2533. Here's what Dodgers manager Dave Roberts had to say before Sunday's game when asked whether Hernandez was getting benched, being kept out of the lineup because it was a scheduled day off, or if him being left out of the lineup on Sunday, was performance-related because he's struggling.
Little combo. It's a combo. I think that, clearly he hasn't handled right-handed pitching. I think that, a 2-day reset could help. And so, yeah, I mean, he's an everyday guy, but I do think that, where we're at, you've got to perform too, to warrant being out there every single day regardless, right? Yeah, I mean, I think so. It's a little combo.
Seriously? A 2-day reset? Teo and the rest of the team literally just got Thursday off. I get it. It was their first day off in nearly 2 weeks. 13 games in 13 days. But come on! And then there's the line. You have to perform to warrant being out there every single day. Where has this energy been when talking about Michael Conforto? Look at their numbers. Conforto, negative WAR. A sub-200 batting average, 10 home runs, 29 RBIs in 2025. Teoscar, on the other hand, his WAR is .9, Not good, but better than minus .5. Batting average 245, 21 homers, 77 runs batted in. I get it also. Since June, their stats are eerily similar. Teo's 209 batting average is just a tick higher than Conforto's 205, but Teo also has 77 strikeouts compared to Conforto's 49. The truth is, Teo also has nearly 60 more at-bats and plate appearances than Michael. Here's the thing. If this is how Dave Roberts is going to handle Teoscar Hernandez, he better start doing the same with Michael Conforto, who's been given every single opportunity to dig himself out of a season-long slump. Limited exceptions have happened in June and August, which were treated as good enough for him, good enough months, but the reality is that in that case, it was something is better than nothing, because that was pretty much what we were getting from Michael Conforto in March, April, May, July. He finally started doing something in June before the trade deadline, and in August, once Kike Hernandez was activated again, and he started feeling that pressure from behind. I understand also, Conforto, he played a key role on Sunday, drawing a walk that ended up contributing to one of the 5 Dodgers runs that they needed to get that win, but it's frustrating when the best choice for one of your starters to get on base is not swinging at all. And it's different, for example, with Max Muncy, who draws a lot of walks, who hustles a lot of long at-bats, than with Michael Conforto, which I feel sometimes the best thing is to go up there, don't swing that bat once, and that's your best chance to give the Dodgers a base runner. Another interesting note from Roberts. When he was asked if this opens the door for someone like Alex Call to get more time in right field, the response was classic. And let's listen to it.
No, I just think for me, I think it's to the point of, the urgency piece. It's like, you got to perform. And so I think for me, it's like certain guys earn and deserve with what I see. But if you play well, you're going to play. And I think that's the way it should be, especially, where we're at right now. So, yeah.
Let's see if Doc puts his money where his mouth is, because it's a simple but clear message. You got to perform. If you play well, you're going to play. And where's that urgency? I don't see it from every single Dodgers player, especially at where they're at right now, at where we're at right now. If they were at the top of the NL West by 13 games with 25 remaining, I absolutely get it. But that's not the case. So if you play well, you're going to play. We got 25 games to see if Dave Roberts does that, because it's a simple and clear message to everyone in that dugout, everyone in that clubhouse, everyone in the Dodgers organization. Now let's see if Dave Roberts delivers with that message or not. Coming up on Locked On Dodgers, a former pitcher for the Boys in Blue is back in the Dodgers organization, but it's not Walker Buehler. Is he going to make a difference? Hey, Locked On Dodgers fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Offers vary by users and locations. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. There's nothing like catching a baseball game live. The energy, the crowd, the chance to see your team in person. But actually getting tickets, that's the tough part. Queues, login screens, surprise fees, it takes all the fun out of it. That's why I use Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. Gametime is fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. The app makes it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying those tickets. Fees are included. Man, you know your total up front with no surprise fees at checkout, which that's the case in every other site. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. I have an important request for you. Locked On wants to hear from you. We've put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't, and answer questions about our advertising. Go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes a survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that's lockedonpodcast.com/survey. If you're watching us, there's the link right there below, or you can also check out that QR code, scan it, and go do the survey. If you're listening to us, you can get that link in the show notes. Thank you so much for helping us out. Let's keep it rolling here because the Dodgers made a few roster moves. First off, an addition, and it comes via a minor league deal. Jon Heyman from MLB Network reports that veteran left fielder Andrew Heaney has been signed by the Dodgers. Now, this move was made just before Monday's deadline for postseason eligibility, so technically, he's an option come October. And remember, one of the best years, if not the best year in Heaney's career, actually came as a Dodger back in 2022, a 3.1 ERA over 16 appearances, mostly as a starter. He joined that rotation at the beginning of the season with Kershaw, Urias, Buehler, and Tony Gonsolin, and then eventually Tyler Anderson. He also joined the party after starting, being the guy that piggybacked behind Tony Gonsolin. Both Heaney and Anderson pitched so well. They pitched well enough that season that in the offseason they landed the biggest contracts of their careers. Since then, Heaney had some highs, some lows. He won the World Series with the Rangers in 2023 and even got the win in Game 4 of the Fall Classic. But this year has been rough. He started strong with the Pirates, his new team. He had a 3.33 ERA in his first 14 starts, but the wheels came off after mid-June. From there, his ERA ballooned to over 9. Pittsburgh actually moved him to the bullpen, and last week he was DFA'd and released. He finished his stint with the Pirates, 5 wins, 10 losses, and a 5.39 ERA. So, what's the play here for the Dodgers? Honestly, this feels like a depth move and a pull in case of emergency kind of situation. The rotation right now, it's in the best shape it's been all season and potentially the best position they've been in the last decade. When you look at the guys there that they have, their top 3 aces with Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell, and then their options after that. You got Shohei Ohtani, Clayton Kershaw, and Emmett Sheehan. They're all doing a good job, and the losses have been more attributed to the hitters than the pitchers as of late. So when you don't need another starter and you just brought in a guy who most of his career has been a starter, what's going on here? Well, if Heaney is able to make it up to go to minor leagues, to be in OKC, which, by the way, is where he resides, so it's just being over with the team. They have 2 series on the road, 1 at home. See, he's going to be more than likely just someone that's going to be available in case the Dodgers need a bullpen arm, which I spoke about on the show last Friday about the 13 guys that I would consider as the pitchers for the Dodgers right now. You got 2 fellas in Kershaw and Sheehan who I feel deserve to be on the postseason roster, who more than likely are going to be pitching out of the bullpen. Then with the rest of the options, I will be talking about them in the next segment. Yates, Scott, my God, 3-run home runs in the worst situations possible. 2 outs, ready to get out of their inning. 3-run home runs. One lets the D-backs get out of a close situation in the 9th. The other one is a blown save for Tanner Scott, or blown late innings scenario for Tanner Scott. It's just a tough situation. So would you prefer Andrew Heaney over one of these two guys? And let's not forget, the Dodgers bullpen right now, they've thrown the most innings in the majors all of 2025. This year, most innings pitched. But their 4.16 ERA is in the middle of the pack, tied for 18th. Even though if you consider from late June until now, before they ended up giving those runs late in the game against the D-backs on Sunday, they had the best ERA in that space. So it's a give or take. It's a situation where you're not completely sure what kind of bullpen you're going to get from the Dodgers. And I got the exact stat right here from you that I took from the screen at Sportsnet LA. Through July 23rd, sorry, it was July. Through July 23rd, 4.43 ERA, 12th in the NL. Since July 23rd, 2.88. They lead the National League. So it's not all of baseball, it's just the National League that they lead since July 23rd. So they've been doing a better job, but they're just getting back Yates, getting back Scott raises those questions because they're either really good or really bad. There doesn't seem to be an in-between with them. And that's the situation that they are at right now. I hope that we don't see Andrew Heaney, with all due respect to Andrew Heaney, because that would mean that Vesia doesn't come back for the Dodgers. That would mean that Brock Stewart doesn't come back for LA, which seems to be a serious situation and something that we might have to consider, because Dave Roberts spoke about it this week, that he hasn't been taking the steps forward as they were expecting him to. And man, can you imagine that? Your one trade deadline acquisition to make the bullpen better just pitched a couple of times for you, gets hurt and not available anymore. He was one of those guys that they were trusting in, that they were hoping that he would come back, and he hasn't. And I don't think he will after what Dave Roberts said this past weekend. So it's going to be okay. If he comes back, it would be back the last week of September. Not a lot of ramp up before he's able to go into the postseason roster. Like I said, OKC, they only got 3 series left. 2 are on the road, 2 are at home. That's 6 games, 6. So it's 18 games left in 2025. So not a lot of opportunities to be able to send a Brock Stewart out there. It would be more of a simulated game for him at Dodger Stadium. So this is tough. And I just feel like Andrew Heaney, like I said, it's an insurance policy that they have. A pull in case of emergency kind of situation that they end up adding to the team. And it's fair to ask, would you have preferred the Dodgers signing a guy like Andrew Heaney or Walker Buehler, who just got DFA'd released by the Boston Red Sox after he got sent to the bullpen? And he doesn't want to be in the bullpen. So now he's with the Phillies. Is that a better situation if the Dodgers had gone for Walker Buehler? I don't know. Buehler, he got the final out at the World Series last year, and we all remember him because we've seen him since he was a rookie, since he was a young gun, since he was the heir apparent to Clayton Kershaw. But now he's not that same guy. Yes, he got paid big bucks by the Red Sox, but he didn't pitch as they hoped. Such was the case that he ended up getting released. So now Andrew Heaney's a Dodger. Let's see what happens. He's with the minor league team, minor league contract. He's with AAA OKC. I insist. I hope that we don't get him pitch with the Dodgers this year, because that would mean that it's a bad situation for the Dodgers bullpen. On top of that, September 1st right now. So rosters are expanded to 28 players. The Dodgers, they made it official that they got 2 players back from injuries with these 2 extra slots in their active roster. Utility man Ha-Seong Kim and right-hander Michael Kopech both are off the IL and will be with the team starting their 6-game road trip in the East Coast against the Pittsburgh Pirates. That series starts on Tuesday through Thursday, and then against the Baltimore Orioles, Friday through Sunday. So we will get to see if Kim, who was playing left field in the minor leagues, takes over that spot over Michael Conforto, and also Kopech, who, when we saw him with the big league club this season, after he came back from an injury, he looked real good. Then he went to the minor leagues, and it was more often than not that he was allowing multiple base runners per inning, and that could be a pick your poison kind of situation where you saw Kirby Yates, you saw Tanner Scott. They had 2 outs, they allowed 2 runners on base, boom, 3-run home runs. If you're allowing base runners in AAA, that worries me, what you are going to end up doing in the major leagues, but we will see what Kopech has to do. And also, we'll hear from a listener in the next segment talk about Michael Kopech because he doesn't agree with me. I said I would give my last bullpen spot for the Dodgers in the postseason to Kirby Yates. This was before he allowed a 3-run home run on Saturday. Over Kopech because I don't know what Kopech can do if he's still in a good level or not. So we'll hear from this listener soon here next on Locked On Dodgers, because also LA misses out on their opportunity to pad their lead in the NL West just a little bit more. Was this it for Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott? Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal financial tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. After I joined Monarch Money, I was shocked to see how many subscriptions I had, and also all that takeout, it definitely stacked up. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONMLB. Don't forget, you can follow Locked On Dodgers not just here on YouTube, but also on X, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm at Harry Ruiz on X, at Harry_Ruiz on Instagram, and at Harry Ruiz_ on TikTok. And of course, my co-host Travis Rogers, he'll be back with us tomorrow. You can find him on X and Instagram at Travis Rogers. All right, let's talk about the weekend series. The Dodgers offense was flat out frustrating, but Will Smith rescued them on Sunday. It feels like whenever the team is in desperate need of a pinch hit walk-off homer, it's always Will Smith. Since 2019, when he made his major league debut, the Dodgers have hit 4 pinch hit walk-off home runs. Every single one of them by Will. That's second all-time behind only Jason Giambi's 6. And this came right after a rough month where Smith went 11 for 69, hitting just 159 in 22 August games. Before that, he was the National League leader in batting average. He was on fire, but in August, he ended it up pretty cool, but at least he had a very great exclamation point to finish that month. That win gave the Dodgers a little bit of breathing room, but overall, it was a missed opportunity. They finished August 15-13, and right now, they're just sitting 2 games ahead in the NL West. The Padres, they dropped 2 out of 3 against the Twins this weekend, so LA had a chance to build on that lead, but they didn't take advantage. The frustrating part, the pitching did its job. They gave the team chances to win every night, and the bats just didn't show up until Sunday. 1 run combined on Friday and Saturday. That's it. Friday night, Blake Snell went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 8. His velo was down, but he said it was just routine related after he and his wife welcomed their second child. Congrats to the Snells, by the way, on having a new baby. But of course, if you change your routine and having a baby at home definitely does that, and welcoming a new baby definitely does that. We gonna attribute it to that. But still, he was 2 outs away from giving you a quality start. Saturday, Tyler Glasnow looked like an ace. Perfect through 3, no-hitter through 5, and 6 shutout innings overall. He was dealing with some blood in his pitching hand early, but he kept going. He didn't let it get into his mind. Then in the 7th, he gave up a solo homer, and that opened the scoring. Sunday, Yoshinobu Yamamoto absolutely shoved. I got my shirt right here. Yoshi, he was incredible. 7 innings, 4 hits, just 1 earned run, and a career-high 10 strikeouts. He pitched like a true ace. And right now, I would give the ball of the first game of a playoff series for the Dodgers to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. You would want him to be able to pitch for you twice in a 5-game series in case you get to a 5th game. In case you're 2-2 in the divisional series and you need to win that 5th game, give it to Yoshi, in my personal opinion. He pitched incredibly, but again, it came down to the offense. The Dodgers had only 3 hits on Friday, got shut out at home, and that was their 7th shutout of the season. 3 of them in the last month and a half. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they gave him 4 runs. Unfortunately, the bullpen blew it. But, man, you go over to the game on Saturday. Base running mistakes. Freddie Freeman, he was on second in the 4th inning, didn't stay put on a roller to third, tried to take an extra base and got out right there with the third baseman grabbing the ball and just extending his hand to hit Freddie Freeman. In the 5th, the Dodgers had 2nd and 3rd, no outs, and Kike got nailed at home without even sliding. If he had slid, it would have been a run. The Dodgers would have opened the score, but he didn't. In the 6th, they had 1st and 2nd with nobody out, no runs scored. That's the kind of execution that ends up costing you games. Just basic baseball, which these guys have been playing their whole lives. And these little mistakes, if you add them up, they become a big one, a big error, a big costly situation for the Dodgers, and that's what happened. Then Sunday, finally, the Bats woke up, 10 hits, 2 walks, but it still took Will Smith off the bench in the 9th to save the day with a walk-off homer to beat Arizona 5-4. Now, let's not forget about bullpen storylines. Saturday, Kirby Yates came in with a 3-1 deficit in the 9th, so his job was to hold it for the Dodgers, to let the team come up in the 9th with the opportunity to, with 2 runs, extend this game. What happens? Infield single, out, a walk, and then boom, home run. Game out of control, not even a chance to win it. Dodgers lose. Sunday, Tanner Scott came in with a 4-1 lead in the 8th. Got 2 quick outs, then gave up a bloop single, another hit, and then Corbin Carroll crushed a 3-run homer. Suddenly, game tied. Blown lead. Come on. Luckily, Will Smith bailed them out, but it's another red flag for late inning reliability, especially with these 2 guys that the Dodgers paid big bucks for. That's something that definitely has you in a really tough situation for the Dodgers, and maybe that's why they signed Andrew Heaney. And hopefully, Michael Kopech comes back in and does what he did last year with the Dodgers, where the fans had no expectations with him, and he comes in and he's key for this team to be able to win the World Series. And we'll wrap today's show with a voicemail from Matthew in Ventura, who doesn't agree with me on Kirby Yates getting one of those final 13 pitching spots for the postseason. And man, I don't even agree with Harry Ruiz from Friday after seeing him do that on Saturday. He's got another name on mind. Matthew does. Someone who will actually be able, starting tomorrow, he will be able to be back on the mound. We'll get to that here. Let's listen to Matthew.
I don't understand. Well, like Michael Kopech last year was like lights out in the postseason from what I remember. And I saw his minor league outings when he's on his way back. I've seen some of it. He looks fine. And I trust him more than any of those guys that you named. Kirby Yates, Robleski, man, no, I'm good. And the other dude, like, it should be Kopech. He should be there for sure. And I'm pretty sure that he will be. All right. I watch your show. It's pretty good, by the way. All right. That's all. Take care. Have a good day.
I agree with you, Matthew. After seeing Kirby Yates, I was being hopeful. I was being positive-minded. Unfortunately, Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott, they keep doing what we've seen them do most of the season, giving up home runs in terrible spots. If they're in a game, it's a high-leverage situation. You don't want to be giving up home runs. And these two fellas, they've been doing so. So the bottom line, the Dodgers missed out on a big opportunity this weekend. They could have padded their lead in the NL West, but at least it didn't get worse. These next two road series are going to be huge for them. Well, that'll do it for today's show. Thank you for making Locked On Dodgers your first listen. If you're still craving more baseball talk, have the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night be your second listen. Also, check us out with Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Both Travis and I, we will be back on Tuesday ahead of the Dodgers starting their last East Coast road trip in the 2025 season by facing Pittsburgh. We appreciate you riding with us. Until next time, keep it real, keep it Dodger Blue.